In the crypto world with DeFi, IoT, Latin America. Hey, today I want to talk about something that maybe it's not real clear. You know, when we, in these volatile markets right now, when we want to move our money out, we want to hold it someplace, usually we jump to what's called stable coins. Well, there are different types of stable coins out there. And I want to talk a little bit right now about which ones are really the secure ones and which one is, or which ones aren't. So there's one really that's more safe than the others. Don't go away. Let's talk about that because that makes a big difference if somebody can grab your money and hold it and you can't move back out again. Let's talk about that. DeFi, IoT, Latin America. Before we begin, I need to make a disclaimer. Here at DeFi, IoT, Latin America, we are not professional financial advisors. Or are we paid by any company to promote certain products? We here at DeFi, IoT, Latin America, we invest our own money. We take our own risks. We learn, we make mistakes, and we share what we learn, our successes and our mistakes with you. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit the bell, give us a thumbs up, and write to us what more you'd like to learn. Let's go in now and see what else we can share with you. Okay, so we all know what stablecoins are, but I'm going to go back through this because these videos are mostly geared for the beginners. Remember, there's 95% of people out there that really don't understand the crypto world, and we want to try to help educate. That's something we want to do here. And for also the experienced, because I think here there's something that even though we're experienced, sometimes we don't realize, right? So stable coins basically are something that's stable, has a backing that makes it basically balance out 1-to-1 for the dollar. So if you move your value in US dollars to, like say you have Ethereum, you want to move your Ethereum into a stable coin. So you would move your value from that into the value of dollars, and then you move that, the amount of the Ethereum to your stable coin and the same amount of dollars. And that stable coin, usually it just fluctuates like this, right? It pretty much stays stable. So it always has the value more or less of a dollar. Sometimes not. There's been a point where it's got down to 88 cents in some of them, but for the most part, they stay pretty stable, right? That's the idea of a stable coin. So let's say we have a volatile market and the market, you know, we're in Bitcoin. Let's go with Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever you want to pick. Market goes up. Yeah, it comes back up and we think, you know what, I want to get out now, but I also want to be able to buy back in again. So I don't want to go out to a fiat currency. I don't want to go out to money. So I move myself to a stable coin. I don't want to move myself to another coin that might go down and I want to buy, right? Plus it's another transaction I got to make, but I got to buy. That means I got to move out of that coin. Hopefully it balances out the same, right? So let's just say I go from Ethereum, I go from Bitcoin to Ethereum and I'm in Ethereum, but I want to go back to Bitcoin. So I've got to make that move and hope that Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to rise at the same time, right? But what I do is, to be safe, I can pull out a Bitcoin and go into a stable coin. Wait for Bitcoin to come back down again, move my stable coin in, buy. Goes back up again, move back out into my stable coin. Goes back down again, move back in and buy. That's the objective of a stable coin. Now, you've had a lot of this legislations coming down or pressure coming down on some of these stable coins and some of these platforms that provide in the United States of America. But some stable coins have been under attack, not just in the US, but principally in the US. And some of those stable coins I want to look at right now, because two of those stable coins that we use most every day and most companies accept really are not safe stable coins. They are centralized stable coins. And any given day, and what they have been doing is they're freezing people's accounts. So what's happening is because they are not what they professed that they were, they have different kind of backings. They're now the Security Exchange Commission from the United States that governs the stock exchange, for example. They're coming in and putting pressure on these stable coins, saying they act more like a stock, if you will, like a security, okay, if you would. like a security. So it has to be governed under them. But there is one that's outside of that, and one that's actually decentralized. I want to take a look at these right now. Let's go to the screen. We have a typical one USDT tether, right? I just kind of want to go through it right here and read this briefly. USDT is what it's coded as, is a stable coin, a stable value cryptocurrency that mirrors the price of the US dollar, issued by a Hong Kong-based company, Tether. It's the name of the company. The token's peg to US dollars achieved via maintaining a sum of commercial paper. Now look at that. Commercial paper is normally corporate debt. So they're based on buying corporate debt, and that's risky. Okay? What if the corporations don't pay on that debt? Now they could buy more secure corporate debt, but corporate debt's still corporate debt. They didn't pay their bills. Fiduciary deposits, cash, reserve repo notes, and treasury bills in reserves that are equal in US dollars. And the value to the number of the USDT in circulation. Okay, that's USDT. Now, USDT is centralized. So you have to be careful with USDT. Plus, it actually has risk to it. Let's go on now to look at USD. What is USD coin? USD coin, known by its ticker USDC, is a stable coin that's pegged to the US dollar on a one-to-one basis. Every unit in this cryptocurrency circulation is backed by $1 that is held in reserve in a mix. Now get this, in a mix of short-term US Treasury bonds. So you have a mix of the dollar and other mixes, and you have Treasury bonds. Treasury bonds are basically debt that the government sells with a guarantee of an interest rate. They're usually low interest rates. It all depends. Now we have inflation. Those interest rates will go higher on new bonds and so forth. Now, that means that the backing is not as solid as we once thought it was. Now, that doesn't mean a treasury bond is bad. But what if the U.S. decides to default on that debt? What if the corporations decide to default on the debt backing tethers? Stablecoin, if you would. Any default in here, and we can say, well, the United States is not going to default. Well, come on. Just last year, not too many months ago, a few months ago, we had a hard time paying our debt. And we're having a greater time paying our debt. And we've actually reached a higher debt ceiling than ever in the history of the United States. So don't think that the United States cannot default. What if the dollar does collapse? It defaults. So therefore, we have a couple problems. It's not as secure, USDC and USDT, even though everybody talks about it. It's traditional. It also is very centralized. And they have done, and they have not, and this has not just been a long time ago, but this has been some recent as well. They have actually frozen people's accounts. They get a directive from the government to freeze an account, they freeze it. Or they themselves suspect certain things, they'll freeze it because they are under much more greater government surveillance of what backs that stablecoin. Now, let's go to the last one here. This is a brief introduction of stablecoins and which is secure and which is not secure. The Terra USD, right, known as UST, is the decentralized algorithmic stablecoin of the Terra blockchain. It's structured differently. It is a scalable yield-bearing coin that is value pegged to the dollar. Terra USD was created to deliver value to the Terra community and offer scalable solution for DeFi, which is decentralized finance, amid severe scalability problems faced by the stablecoin leaders like DAI. Thus, Terra USD promises user a higher level of scalability, interest rate accuracy, and interchange usage. It's a much more secure and much more versatile stablecoin. Watch this. Terra USD provides several benefits that have made it a standout stablecoin competitor. Due to its minting mechanism, UST meets requirements of DeFi protocols, decentralized finance protocols, that it uses without losing scalability. In other words, its speed and its depth, right? UST can also be easily added to crypto wallets by simply integrating Terra USD as payment method. Another area where Terra USD has shown its power is dApps. For example, platforms and mint fungible synthetic assets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What I like about this is that UST also pays 20% interest for staking it. Now, You have in UST a much more safer and real stablecoin than you have in USD and USDT. UST also doesn't have the history of freezing people's accounts. Why? Because it's decentralized. Remember, centralized is under the control of one or fewer people, like the organization. Decentralized is decentralized. The control is much broader. It's much more spread out. Normally, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, you and I and all of us have a say in things. It's much more decentralized. So if I today was in this market where it's going up and down, I need to bank my money. I'm going to put my money where? I'm going to go right here to Tether. I'm going to go into UST. Now, you decide what you want to do for yourselves. We want to take this minute and just kind of help you understand which stable coins are really stable and which ones aren't. And really right now in all those stable coins, the standout is UST, Tether. DeFi IoT Latin America, trying to bring you information so you don't have to make mistakes like we have in the past. So please, if it's your first time subscribing or listening to us, subscribe, hit the bell, give us a thumbs up, write us some things. We're going to start going back and getting better on our messages. We started doing it last week. We're going to start doing better. What we're going to do is we're going to start actually bringing everybody together in one page, announce that we're going to do basically a live stream where we're going to respond to your questions and ask more questions until we actually get that question resolved in your minds. DeFi IoT Latin America, follow us, subscribe. We thank you for all your support. We'll talk to you tomorrow.